For every graduation ceremony, we have a speaker, an alumnus speaker, a graduate from our university who is out there changing the world and shaping futures. It's my great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Pete Skelton. Now, Pete's an alumnus from the MSc in Rehabilitation Sciences. He travels the world giving aid in medical crises. Pete was going to be here, but another medical crisis has emerged. And so what he has done is to record a video. And I think what this video will illustrate is the very powerful and important impact that healthcare professionals can have across the globe. Pete.
Chair, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, graduates, families and friends. I'm hugely privileged to have the opportunity to talk to you on this very special day. I genuinely hope to be with you in person, but I've just returned from a deployment to Bangladesh where we've been working with the Rohingya refugee crisis, and I'm also now due to be travelling to Lebanon to support the vital work of my organisation around the South Syria crisis, which is becoming much worse. My name is Pete Skelton, and I graduated in my late 20s from the University of Brighton in 2008 via the 2-year pre-registration Masters. Before coming to Brighton, I'd spent several years living and working in India and West Africa, but I came to Brighton, or to my slight surprise, I have to admit, to Eastbourne, with the idea of gaining tangible skills that would be useful in an emergency setting, skills I felt that I previously lacked. Since then, after working in the NHS, I've spent my time responding to most of the major emergencies of the last decade, from the Haiti earthquake in 2010, which killed more than 200,000 people, to the ongoing and devastating Syrian crisis, which has killed or injured more than 11% of the population. In between, my work has taken me to conflicts in Gaza, Iraq and Libya, and to emergencies in the Philippines, Nepal, Ecuador and Bangladesh. I currently work for the charity Humanity and Inclusion and for the UK government's emergency medical team. Now, I suspect that the reason that I'm here in front of you is that there's an assumption that with all of those experiences, I would have learnt some life lessons that I could share with you. Like all of you, though, I'm simply on a journey and I'm constantly learning, forgetting and relearning these lessons. The main things that I have learnt are probably the most obvious things, but they are things that once you've experienced at first hand leave an indelible mark. The first and most obvious of these is that war is a terrible thing. In my role, though admittedly I rarely see battles, I also never see heroes or villains. I see history teachers tortured, injured children with 13 family members killed. I see refugees with spinal injuries sleeping on the bare ground. I see villages burned, whole cities destroyed. Not victory, not glory. More and more we see our local colleagues targeted deliberately and killed in these situations. Now, you don't need to travel to a war zone to support them. You can speak out for them or support organisations like mine that work with them. The second thing that I've learned is more positive, and that is that the human spirit is an incredible thing. I've worked with tireless colleagues, their homes destroyed by an earthquake, who day after day after day go about their work in an overflowing hospital with neither power nor water, with no care for themselves. I've stepped into bombed homes or desert tents and been met with a smile and offered tea or snacks. I've worked with patients with neither home, possession or family, with catastrophic injuries, who are nevertheless resolute. Never underestimate people. Ordinary people affected by adversity are almost always resilient, dynamic, altruistic, and kind. The third and final thing is that we are where we are in life because of luck, much more so than because of intelligence, talent, or even hard work, though I'm certain that all of you have worked incredibly hard to get to where you are today. It's through luck, though, that you are likely born at a time of relative peace, in the UK at least, with free healthcare, clean drinking water and universal education. We must not take these things for granted. It's only through action that we can preserve them for the next generation, both here and around the world. Through luck, and while at times it certainly won't feel like it, you will very soon be in the top 1% of earners in the world. Just by having a degree, you will join only 6% of the population, or if you've graduated with a master's, now 1% of the population of the world. Now, you are born into this position of relative power and responsibility through luck alone. But you've chosen your profession because you want to help others. This makes you all the future, and as our world becomes more and more interconnected, not just the future of the UK. Congratulate yourselves on your choices and your achievements. Please do enjoy a cold beer and a glass of champagne this evening. These are all hard-earned and well-deserved successes, but always remember the role that luck played. Don't congratulate yourself too much for your successes or blame yourselves when things don't go right. Stand up for those less fortunate, care for those who need it, and be a voice for those who are voiceless. Chair, Vice-Chancellor, thank you again for this wonderful opportunity. Graduates, good luck in your adventures in this wonderful life. Thank you.